السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we get up, inshallah, this announcement is for everyone, including the children and the teenagers. I want to express a concern that has reached me, and I also witnessed it today. Brothers and sisters in Islam, this is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do we all agree? This is a house for everyone and anyone that enters it. For they are the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May they be the children, the elderly, the brothers, or the sisters. In our masjid, we are working diligently to ensure that we are accommodating everyone for every program and to facilitate every need that we feel is important for our community. We have a gym night for the sisters, for the girls. On Thursday night from 5:30 to 7 is a time where the girls of our community could come and play with the girls. What disturbs me is that brothers feel that they have a right to go inside there. Last week we had a problem where a Muslim sister, mother, took her husband inside and she said to girls, it's okay, he can see. I will not tolerate that. As your Imam, it's imperative that we have adab and respect for each other, especially our sisters. Especially our sisters. So no one, including the teenagers and the youngsters, when it is for the girls, no one should be entering that facility. And for those who have classes upstairs, like myself, we just had the teenager class, and that's why I came late. We go to our room, we do our thing, and we come downstairs. There are windows upstairs that look down on the gym. For brothers to go upstairs and look down is unacceptable. Regardless if it's your daughter or your daughters are there, there are other people's daughters there also. So for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brothers and sisters, let us support each other on goodness and ensure that we help those who may stray and go there to let them know kindly, brother, my son, my uncle, whoever, that's not a place to go right now. Let them have their time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to respect His house and be respectful servants of His house and take that respect to the entire humanity. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. Inshallah, just take 10 minutes of your time. I know we're late today. Alhamdulillah, we have now reached the point where the night is complete and it's time to wake up. For some, we wake up in the middle of the night, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to remember Him, and for that we say Alhamdulillah. Because to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a blessing from Him. And to have the opportunity to remember Him, the tawfiq, is also a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we say subhanallah, everyone say subhanallah. This is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the fact that He gave us the opportunity to do it, it itself is also a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if for those who wake up in the middle of the night, what is the recommended method? For those who wake up Fajr, what is the method? And those who wake up after Fajr, what is the method? We'll first go through, inshallah, the basics, and then I'll try to touch on all three of these. The first thing when we wake up, the first thing we should do is remember Allah by saying, Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana ba'dama amatana wa ilayhi nushur. And we thank Allah, we praise Him that He gave us life after death. What I talked about last week is that we die every day. Every day death is coming to us as a tester. When the real one comes, we will not wake up. Or if we were awake, we will then go to sleep. So, what do I remember? I want you to do this for me. It's a homework. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, reflect on what you remember. And based on what you remember, it will allow you to understand the effort you need to put in place. We all must have heard that story of that scholar who had a parrot and he taught the parrot what? Tota tha na uske paas. He thought La ilaha illallah. He was saying La ilaha illallah. And one day the parrot was out and the cat came and jumped on it and it just shrieked and it died. And he started crying and then the student said, no worry, Sheikh, we'll buy you a new parrot. He goes, it's not the parrot. He was saying that all its life, it said La ilaha illallah. But when the moment came for it to say it, it did not say it. Let me give you a more practical example. My aunt, she is a convert. She was a Hindu. She converted. She was in Mumbai. She told me in 2001 when they had the earthquake in Gujarat, she was in Bombay and she woke up. It was in the morning, the earthquake. She said the first thing I said, my passport, where's my passport? So she's telling me what that taught me was, where am I and where's my Allah? If that moment comes that the angel of death approaches us and we don't say La ilaha illallah, it needs practice. And that practice happens every morning when we wake up. Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana. Thanks and praise be to Allah who gave me life after giving me death, and to Him I have to return. After doing that, and I'll just tell you that this is from the hadith of Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala, that when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would ever wake up from his sleep, he would say, Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana ba'dama amatana wa ilayhin nushur. The first thing we should do is, upon waking up, is relieve ourselves and go to the bathroom. It's something natural. Keeping your bathroom or holding on to going to the bathroom is not recommended in our deen. It is also stated that a person should not pray when they're hopping, when they need to go to the bathroom. Go relieve yourself. If you have to also eat, and there's time, eat first. Don't enter into prayer with this on your mind. So the first thing we should do is go and relieve ourselves and go to the bathroom. And when we go to the bathroom, we enter with which foot, everybody? Left foot. The only thing we do opposite to everything else is we enter with the left foot and we say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal-khaba'ith. We say, Allah, I seek your protection, refuge from the foul nests and the foul ones. Of course, we know that this is a place where the jinns and the shayateen like hanging out. Nowadays, subhanallah, bathrooms are called restrooms. Only in America. In England, they call it the bogs. In Canada, they call it the toilet. In America, we call it the restroom. Because where you could take, before they used to take the newspaper. Then it was the Newsweek magazine. Now, mashallah, it's the cell phone and the tablet. Sitting there on these things. This is where shaitan stays. We should not spend time there. We should go, relieve ourselves, and come out. So it's imperative we seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's protection because according to the hadith of Ali radiallahu ta'ala, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the screen between the jinn and the private parts of the descendants of Adam alayhi salam is to take the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you say that, there's a screen. They cannot affect you. They cannot touch you. In our homes, we may have our private bathrooms and we could, take off our clothes, hang them up and go use the bathroom. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a person of shame and haya. He taught us only expose that much of your body that you need to expose to relieve yourself. By taking off our trousers and shirt and sitting in the bathroom, this is not the right way. Expose as much as you need to. And subhanAllah, when you do that, you expose yourself just before you sit down. So if you go fill up water, come sit down. Before you sit down, you expose yourself. And as soon as you get up, you put your clothes back on. We stepped in with our left foot, and when we relieve ourselves from the call of nature, we should then do what? We should cleanse ourselves. In regards to how much we should uncover, Anas radiallahu ta'ala reported that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he intended to go relieve himself, he would not lift up his clothing until he was close to the ground. Subhanallah. Now we know in those days there was no American standard toilets, right? There was no bathrooms. They would go out, they would dig a hole, and then the Prophet ﷺ would relieve himself. And he would only expose himself, as I said, when he was close to the ground. Urination. For men, there is options. There's urinals. You go to different places. People stand up and urinate. SubhanAllah, even in the masjid. Remember, there's no germs. If the toilet seat is clean, you clean it. If it's not clean, you clean it. And we sit down. Why? Because sitting down to urinate is even for the men. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she narrates that if anyone tells you, this is her words, if anyone tells you that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam urinated while standing, do not believe them. He only urinated sitting down. This is a hadith in Tirmidhi. There is that one incident, but sometimes people take it and say, oh no, he stood up, we could stand up. Remember, what are you protecting yourself from? From the return of the splashes. And regardless how you stand and urinate, those splashes do come onto you. So the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and the health benefit. If you go to Costco, I don't know if they still have it. They have the squatty potty. Have you seen that? If not, go to Bed Bath & Beyond. If you want to buy it from Costco because it's 2 for $20. Bed Bath & Beyond is 1 for $24. Unless you have the 20% coupon. So what that is that you put that, yes. From where? IKEA. IKEA has it. Must go to IKEA. That is the cheap place. I actually explored and learned IKEA when I came to Texas, and mashallah, it is really good. So what that does, subhanallah, it's an elevation. That you put yourself on that elevation. Why? Because it's medically proven. The more pressure we apply to the abdomen, the more better it is for us to relieve ourselves. It's the healthiest way. Standing up is not healthy, and sitting the way we sit like on a king's throne, it's not. So that is very important to elevate our feet. Last thing, position yourself on the toilet that you neither face the qibla nor have your back to it. So if in our homes, there is a toilet that is either facing the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا تستقبلوا القبلة بغائط ولا بول ولا تستدبروها ولكن شرقوا أو غربوا. Don't face the qibla when you're going to the bathroom, nor put your back to it. Turn to the right or left. If there is a toilet in the house that is situated that way, just turn a little bit. That's the best you can do. But try not to do that deliberately. I want to pause here and talk about the 3 situations. A person wakes up in the middle of the night. They want to perform tahajjud. Always do it in a way where you're not disturbing others. When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ would enter the home and people were sleeping, he would say salam loud enough that those who are awake could hear him and those who were sleeping would not be disturbed. And when he would stand up to do tahajjud, there were times where Aisha radiallahu anha would have to pull her legs in so he could pray. But he never disturbed. It was only written that in the last Ashara of Ramadan, he would stay awake and keep his family awake. This was the time he got, sleeves up, and this is the time to do the right thing. So that's when you do that. And other times we should not make noise and rattle. Keep the peace of the house in mind. If we wake up for Fajr, then we should wake everyone up for Fajr. You see, the excuse starts from us. Oh, my son and daughter was studying to 1 o'clock in the morning. Let them sleep. They could pray Fajr when they wake up. What we're doing is we're telling them Allah's obligation, you could discard it. And when we give leniency on these obligations, then they start falling in all other obligations. Regardless if it's Sunday, regardless if it's the holiday, regardless if it's a school day, we should make an environment. If we're not coming to the masjid, start making the environment at home. Everyone wakes up and everyone prays. It's very important. And if we were to wake up after the Fajr prayer and the Fajr prayer is gone, the first thing we should do upon waking, making our dua, cleaning ourselves, using the bathroom and making wudu is to pray our Fajr first, inshallah. With this we will conclude. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to understand the hikmah and the beauty in each and every sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. He allows us to practice it, inculcate it into our lives, and propagate it to our families, in our community, and to the masses, because this deen and this sunnah isn't a benefit exclusively for the Muslims. It has been sent as a benefit for the whole mankind. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to benefit and make us a source of benefit. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan, and we'll speak to you all soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, everyone, tomorrow night is our family night. We didn't do it last week due to weather. I know it's going to be cold tomorrow, but we still recommend everyone to please come with their families. We will have a short talk. We will have time and opportunity for the families to meet and discuss and benefit from the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Family night starts at 7 p.m. Food will be served. The talk will be after Isha. Food will be sold here, inshallah. Please come and have dinner with your family here, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan.